How do you and your company stand out in what can sometimes be a saturated t-shirt market?
That's a funny one. Well, we can always, and we never take this for granted. Like, we came up with the idea in 2008, and people followed, which is great. We're inspiring others to do something great, and we're all, we've always been all about Cleveland. So what's good for Cleveland is good for us. And as competitions started coming up, it kind of pushed us to get better. So I would say we wouldn't be where CLE clothing wouldn't be where it's at right now without others in the market. And we look. I have friends or colleagues all over the country that started the t-shirt companies about their cities and stuff, and they looked at Cleveland as an inspiration.
So for us, in terms of our social strategy, and it's not a terribly new concept, but it's really a huge focus on telling our story and making sure our story matches the story of the audience, in terms of our target audience, what they want to see about themselves and what they believe about themselves, and quite possibly what they're aspiring to believe about themselves. And so for us, really visual obviously has been the most impactful. So Facebook and Instagram is the specific channels that we really focus on telling our story, and making sure that it can match that story. And that means that the timing, the time of day, what's going on in the world, that's really important.
I think one thing that we didn't quite get right when we first got started was just the positioning of our company. It's funny, our original name was Brown Bag Wellness, and you can see it has a very, very strong health-oriented positioning. And the model at that point was to just take a very defined geographic area and offer the service to all employees in that area without the idea of there being any kind of employer sponsorship. And the more that we kind of thought that through, we realized that we'd be delivering, 5 lunches here, 6 here, 3 here, and it would just be a delivery nightmare. And so kind of recognizing that challenge, that's kind of how we backed into a corrected course into what's now become Lunch Aisle. And we try to really focus on the idea of smart, which kind of led to the wise element. And that's kind of, our current branding is a bit more mainstream and less so focused on that strong health orientation.
So for us, when we started to build the brand, we understood that shelf space and the competition is always going to be really high. So we needed to differentiate ourselves, but always had the mentality of don't be different just to be different.
So you guys are pulled in a million different directions every day now. I know probably like a year or two ago when the business wasn't as flourishing as it was. How are you guys keeping a pulse on the industry and keeping up with trends?
Well, I think we're always, coming from we're in retail and fashion, just looking at what's going on in the market. Also, just staying up with the times. Like we're in Cleveland, we're in the playoffs. We're pushing new Cavs themed merchandise all the time. And always just keeping our brand fresh. We have what we call the vault, kind of based around like Disney. We have designs that go into the vault.
You do?
We do.
Oh.
It's just in my mind.